Hi, everyone. A few years ago, there was an article in the Harvard Business Review called Everyone Who Makes It Has a Mentor. Well, I'm not sure that's really true. There are a lot of people who make it without a mentor, but there's almost nothing you can do in your career or in your time at a university that has more value than developing a mentor relationship. And I can tell you that that's benefited my career immensely. As I get towards the end of my career, I look back on all of the people who helped me, who just helped me along the way, and I helped them too. Because one of the things about a mentor relationship is that it is a mutual relationship. It is a relationship where you do something for somebody and they do something for you. One of the reasons I came to Utah State is I was invited to apply for this job. I wasn't really interested, but I did it out of courtesy. I showed up one day. They weren't that interested in me either, frankly. And I showed up one day to do my presentations and my interviews. And then they kind of take them to dinner or lunch at the Sky Room kind of place in campus. And so I was standing in line at the salad bar at the ritzy place over there in the student center, trying to feed me a lunch, not very interested in my candidacy. And I hear a familiar voice in front of me in line, and he hears a familiar voice and he turns around. It's one of my former students from another university who is now an associate dean at Utah State University and very well respected. And he turned around and he looked at me and he reached out to me and we embraced and we hugged. Matt Sanders, you may know him. And then he looked at this committee and he said, "Everything that I am, this man made me," which is not true, but he would give me the credit for that. The truth is about Matt is that he came to me when he was an undergraduate and said, "I want to do what you do when I grow up. I want to be like you. There are things I need to learn from you. Can I help you?" And he did. And he became my undergraduate research assistant. And then we got him into a graduate program and I helped him through graduate school. And then I lost touch with him. But that mentor relationship benefited me immensely and it sure benefited him as well. That's what we're looking for at Utah State University. And we need to find ways to seed these relationships. And we're going to make that your problem for this class. So we know that about 20, maybe 10 to 20% of our faculty have these really strong mentoring relationships. And we want to find ways to foster that more, to get more people to do that. And it's a hard problem because you can't mandate it. You can't pay people to do it. It has to happen kind of organically. These are mutual relationships. So we are going to divide into 4 teams and see if we can make some recommendations to the dean and another instructor who's looking at this really carefully and launch them towards a program that will help do this. And we need your expertise to do it. The first thing we need to do is research. We need to find out what the best research says about this problem. Lots of people have done research on this matter. But some of that research is pretty self-serving and pretty lousy. What often happens in the academy is, hey, we need more mentor relationships. Let's do this. And they go do it, and it's really bad. It's really mediocre. And then they go do research on it, and the research just glosses over the problems. And we don't want that. We want the best research. There's some things we really want to know about mentoring, that people know about mentoring, and we need you to find that if you're on the research team. The second team is the best practices team, and we need a team to go out there and look at all of the best business schools and some of the ones that aren't best but are doing a really good job with mentoring programs, both at the university level and the business school level, and come back and say, look at these 3 or look at these 5 schools and what they learned about how to solve this problem. Best practices. We don't want to do worst practices. We want to do best practices there. The third team needs to focus on case studies. There are a couple of really good cases, and I think I would be a good case, except that I'm not going to be on your team. But find a relationship like the one I had with Matt Sanders. Find a professor and a student and interview them. Maybe do that with a bunch of students, but find at least one of them that you can videotape both of them and we can put that together in a really nice interview package, edit that together, and have an example, a 3 or 5 minute case that's inspirational to both students and faculty members, where they go, I would like that. I would really like that. Fourth team is really a tough team, because a lot of your work the first 3 teams have to get their work done before you can really start or really go into depth and finish your work. So you have to kind of be spying on them and maybe have a spy in their camp and figure out what they're doing, because you're going to help us pull this all together and then make recommendations for the next steps. And I think I'm pretty, just being a pragmatic person that I am, I think you're going to probably be sitting with me in the dean's office after the date of the class ends and going over some of those recommendations. And I think you'll find it to be really rewarding if you can get into that. Pick one of those teams. Talk about it. Pick one of them. And send me which team you want to be on, an email that says which team you want to be on. And if you can't be on that team, the second choice. And then I'm going to put these teams together, and then plan on meeting with me via Zoom at least once in the first 2 weeks. Once you form your team, let's get together via Zoom. The whole team doesn't have to be there, but I need to make sure that you have some really specific instructions about what to do. Thanks very much. Take care, guys.